This is Ellenfield Park in north central Dublin. Paul and I are here today because it's a very important plank of the state's case against Gerry Hutch. It's here that Jonathan Dowdall, state witness, alleges he had a significant meeting with Mr Hutch a few days after the Regency Hotel. What do we know about this alleged meeting, Paul?
Well, that's the key word, Mick, alleged, and it comes down to whether Miss Justice Tara Burns and the two other judges believe Jonathan Dowdall that this is the site that he met Gerry Hutch 2 or 3 days after the Regency Hotel shooting and essentially confessed to him to the murder of David Byrne. Now, it comes down to Dowdall's word whether this happened, but he says at about 11 or half 11 in the morning, shortly before midday is the accepted narrative, he came through a small gate similar to the one we just came through, met Gerry Hutch and had a brief conversation after the publication of the Sunday World. It was the now infamous photograph, and they discussed that this woman in drag was potentially Patrick Hutch, and he described Gerry Hutch as being agitated, nervous and on edge.
And Paul, what does Mr Dowdall allege that Gerry Hutch told him?
Well, he says that Gerry Hutch was quite agitated and nervous, and he met him here in the park and they got straight into it, talking about that famous photo in the Sunday World, and they were concerned about this photo of this person in drag. And following that, then Gerry Hutch said something to the effect of it was them at the Regency, and he named Mago Gately, saying it was them and Mago Gately, and he said that he felt bad and he felt upset over killing that lad David Byrne.
Right, so that's very, very significant. Now, we're at the stage, as we know, where Miss Justice Tara Burns and the other two judges in the non-jury special criminal court are considering the verdict, and it's due on Monday. But I think it is fair to say that's direct evidence from Jonathan Dowdall. Now, he was challenged on it robustly, but I think if the judges accept that evidence from Mr Dowdall, then Gerry Hutch has a problem.
Big time. Look, I mean, it all comes. This was what Mr Gretton, senior counsel for Mr Hutch, said. It all comes down to Jonathan Dowdall. This case stands or falls on Jonathan Dowdall's word. There's no CCTV footage of this incident. There's no evidence other than Jonathan Dowdall's word that this incident in this park happened.
There is a problem for Mr Dowdall in relation to his evidence, and it's in relation to the timing of when this alleged meeting happened, because we know that the Regency happened on Friday the 5th of February 2016. On the 8th of February, which was the Monday evening, Gerry Hutch's brother Eddie was murdered in the centre of Dublin. Now, I think, if memory serves, Mr Dowdall initially said that the meeting happened on the Monday of the morning of the 8th of February. Yes. But then he gave different evidence, effectively, did he?
Well, he gave different evidence before the trial, but he told the Gardaí in May 2022 that it happened on the same day that Eddie Hutch was murdered, and he could specifically remember that because he got a phone call from the wife of Patsy Hutch informing him about the murder of Eddie Hutch. So he was able to place that as being the same day, the Monday the 8th. But when it was put to him that the timelines didn't match up in relation to phone evidence, because phone evidence showed that Mr Dowdall's phone did not ping off anywhere near this park on the 8th of February, he conceded that perhaps it was the 7th. And he said, look, it's 7 years ago, he can't exactly recall the exact date or time. So this meeting happened either on the 7th or the 8th of February. But he's saying he has no doubt in his mind Gerry Hutch was here in this park with him and he confessed to murder.
And so that's very, very significant, and it just always strikes me as slightly incongruous. This is a park, there are workmen over there working on the grass, there are people walking their dogs, but one man's life, that of Gerry Hutch, depends on whether the judges accept Mr Dowdall's version of what happened.